What's up, YouTube? It's Luco. I left off here telling you about I was talking about me being a member of the prison gang Family Values. I told you about a little bit of some previous stuff, and I'm going to try to pick up where I left off. I had just gotten out of the hole for a tattoo violation, but when I come back out, the whole yard had changed. The dynamic was completely different than it was before. Like I said, all my friends had already moved. They were locked up in the hole pending investigation. So I didn't know none. I knew a couple of them vaguely of the guys that were on the yard. And I think altogether there was like four of us on the whole camp. Um, so one of the guys, I'm not going to say any names, was living with another guy from my hometown that I didn't get along with. Okay. Well, this guy approached him and said, "Look, Luke's no good. They got paperwork on him at home." So I catch wind of this. I go over there. I'm trying to skate in the wing and get it in with dude because you gotta you can't let nobody talk like that at all in prison. If you want to try to live normally and not pay for protection, stuff like that, you got to be able to face that immediately. Well, one of my bros was in the wing with him. He said, "No, no, 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 wait." I'm like, "Look, no, you ain't gonna." But he ends up calming me down. He says, "Wait. We're gonna give this dude 10 days to produce some paperwork, and then you can do what you need to do." So I'm not happy about it, but I'm like, okay. And at the same time, I was gonna try to get my motion of discovery, all my stuff sent in as fast as possible. But the thing is, I didn't have nobody on the streets to do stuff like that for me. I had a couple people on the streets, but they had never. I was the first person in my family to go to prison. So this kid has people on the streets. So he gets some paperwork sent in. It's bogus, right? It's got a it's crazy looking back on this, but he was scared of getting whipped. So he had some paperwork with a St. Louis County stamp on it sent in, saying some bull crap about a truck that I had never even, and a dude that I had never even been arrested with. Now, I did know the guy that was in the paperwork, but I was in county jail with this dude. It's the only time I'd ever even met the guy. So I go to my bro Nate. I say, "Man, that's bogus. I've never even been arrested in St. Francis County." I had some of my people get online and get on CaseNet to prove, like, look, Luke's never even been arrested up there, but he ain't. He was friends with this dude, man. I guess I don't know if he was getting money off of him. I'm not exactly sure. I know the dude had some money, so my bro ain't believing me. He's believing this paperwork. Look, we got it right here. Paperwork. So I'm feeling hurt by this, man. I mean, these dudes. I just went to war with these guys that are supposed to be like my brothers, and he's not believing me. He's believing this punk from home over me. So a little bit of time passes. I didn't react right away, but a little bit of time passes, and I can't get the paperwork in. I can't get the paperwork in. Well, eventually there's a meeting called church, and I mean, it hurts even talking about this, man, because I felt like I had put in so much work for them dudes and that I could trust them. But anyway, they had called church, and it was over me. Well, they voted that I wasn't going to get taken out, like physically, but that I needed to go in, get it in with one of the bros that was in my housing unit, which was housing unit 4, and cover up my patch with the tattoo artist of my choice, and it's all over with. Or I could fight for it. But I had, and I'd have to fight every day, every time I come out of the hole if I wanted to keep that on my body type shit. So I had felt so betrayed by these guys, man, over him believing that kid over me, that I thought, you know what, I'm not feeling this anyway. And I'll be damned if I go back out to war with these guys, bringing knives out on the yard and whatnot, and they don't even believe me. Now, at the same time, I'm still actively trying to get my paperwork sent in. Now, remember that. So I go in, I get it in with the bro immediately. I think I did that night. And then about a week later, I skated in another wing and I got, which was my patch covered up. I did it quick. I was so mad at the time, but it was right there on my chest, as you can see. It says DBD up here, 2 lightning bolts right here, and then 622. So they said that it was called letting me out with honors. And they said down the line, if I wanted to, I could get a star or some shit covering up, like a solid star if I wanted to. But I was just happy to be out of it and done. You know what I mean? It hurt so bad. So anyway, now, remember I had somebody sending me my paperwork. I think it was my aunt. Um, about 2 months had passed. My whole motion of discovery gets sent in. So I call everybody out to the yard, right? And I'm not trying to get my patch back. I know that in my head. But I want everybody to also know that I'm not no rat. So everybody comes out to the yard. We all go over my motion. I show them that I'd never been arrested in St. Louis County. Now, by this time, nobody can find the paperwork. Right? It's gone, evidently. The kid was gone. He was a dope head, so I think he got moved to the other side, and it was just all this bullshit. So they're like, what do you want to do, Luke? Luco, do you want your patch back? Like, what? What do you want to do? You want to take this kid out? And I, looking back on this, I probably should have said, yeah, let's take this kid out. I don't want my patch back, but I still want the kid taken out, but I didn't, man. I let that kid slide. I thought I'd see him again, and I didn't until years down the road. But anyway, so now, at this point, they're asking me if I want it back. I say no. I just want my name cleared. And eventually, man, I ended up doing, I'm thankful that I did do that because, man, once I got out of that, time flew. I was able to do my own thing when I wanted. I ended up getting moved to the other side to do some work. I worked in maintenance, and time started passing, y'all. You know, all the way up until, let's see, do I want to go there? Yeah. Okay, all the way up until, I think it was October of 2012. Now, at this time, I got moved to 7 House. That's where the maintenance house used to be in Bowling Green. And there was lots of dope on the yard over there, okay? And which FV, which was the Family Values, the gang that I used to be in, had got into it with the Crips, okay, over some dope. Now, I'm not going to mention no names. I might mention nicknames, but so we go out to the yard one day, and it's during my yard time, man. And me and a buddy, we used to play poker on the yard. So I was sitting there and I was watching, and I could see something getting ready to happen over underneath the weight pavilion. As the blacks would move, the whites would follow, and it was just like a constant. And I thought, man, you could see a couple of them talking. Well, the next thing you know, the yard erupts. And at first, it was Family Values versus the Crips underneath the weight pavilion. One group was fighting. It was 2 dudes, actually. It started one-on-one. Well, the white guy started getting the better of the black guy. The next thing you know, one of the black guy's friends jumped in, and then literally the whole yard erupted. And it was a race riot. I mean, 100%. So I was up at that point in front of the rec building, and all this is going on like 100 yards from me. People are running and hitting people with soda, like full soda cans in the head. There's people stabbing each other. I get with one of my good friends, Mike Davis, man. He was a Joplin honky. He was a very good, solid man. We end up getting back to our housing unit, small yard, and at the exact same time, you're not going to believe this, at the exact same time, the dude who literally started the riot skated in right in front of us. His shirt was all ripped up. I don't know how he made it in, but he made it to the housing unit. Well, the next thing you know, the whole prison is on lockdown. We're not going nowhere. They're trying to find what happened, who was involved. They're running the tapes back. So if y'all want to pick up from there, man, let me know. Hit me up, like and subscribe. My name's Luco. I got plenty more of these stories. If y'all like them, let me know, man. I'll tell you what happened from the riot on, from the lockdown on up. All right, y'all. I'll hit you with another one like the other one.